experts in the state. Professor Trench Alibia, Dr. Edna Akpan of the Akwa Ibom State University, Polaris Bank representative, Director, Federal Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Uyobo Nwoko, State Chairman of AFAN, and some participants spoke at the training. Martina of the Kingdom Green Revolution Farms gave an overview of rice cultivation, while resource persons gave lectures on the role of rice in Nigeria, upland rice production, managing farm business, and the use of organic farm inputs.
We were not known for rice production, but by the cause of these large-scale farmers, in no time from now, Akwa Ibom State will be known for rice production.
If we can cultivate that habit of planting rice and domesticating the skills within our state, I think it's very, very good for us.
The event featured exhibition of local rice and other farm implements. Eyagri Paul, KBC News.
Two communities in Benin, Kot Aba and Ikodeti, have appealed to the Akwa Ibom State government to prevail on the face-off between them and the management of Sterling Global Petrochemical Limited. They have also expressed displeasure over the destruction of the ancestral forest reserve, farmlands, economic trees, and buildings. The reports.
Display of placards with inscriptions, "We are law-abiding citizens. We need Akwa Ibom State government intervention. Sterling Global Petrochemical, you are not above the law. Adhere to court injunctions," among others. Speaking with newsmen, the spokesperson for Ikoraba village, Comrade Godwin Donald, and the woman leader, Madam Eno John Abud, as well as those from Ikoreti, the youth leader, Comrade Joshua Mondowo, and the women leader, Madam Blessing Anthony Peter, expressed shock that Sterling Global Petrochemical and Geoseismic Survey Limited could start a project of such magnitude without adequate compensation for the people. It was gathered that the phase-off started with the management of Sterling Global Petrochemical Limited refusing to honor the High Court injunction of December 15, 2023, which restrained them from further activities pending the determination of the court case. They lamented that a series of correspondences have been forwarded to both companies to look into their predicament as their source of livelihood have been hampered with the oil exploration activities, and appealed for an amicable resolution to address what they described as ugly situation. The aggrieved communities lamented that environmental impact assessments were not carried out to ascertain the extent of damage by geoseismic acquisition right-of-way, as well as none reaching out to the Akwa Ibom State Local Content Monitoring and Compliance. They called on the state government to wade into the matter for peace to reign.
What you are seeing here is a peaceful protest. We are calling on those bodies that can help us. We are calling on our state governor to please, as a matter of urgency, come to our aid.
I'm calling the next authority, the federal government, the state government, all that is in authority to come down. That's why we are calling on them, because we don't want violence.
Meanwhile, efforts to reach out to the Community Affairs Manager of Geoseismic Survey Limited proved abortive.
Diplomat Academy, located along Idore Road, Uyo, has held its 6th inter-house sports competition. At the event, the pupils and students displayed their talents through different games and activities. The sports meet, which held at the playground of Kwaibu Primary School, Itam Flyover along Ikodekmene Road, Uyo, had the Dean, Faculty of Education, University of Uyo, Professor Imabong Akpan as chairman.
Addressing the sports meet, Professor Akpan said she was elated by the performances of the pupils, students and staff, and urged them to keep the flag of the school flying. She thanked the proprietor and director administration of Diplomat Academy for giving her the opportunity to experience the talents showcased by the pupils and congratulated the winners in the various events competed for.
This is a very great institution. The diplomats, I can see that diplomacy shows in everything that you do.
The Director, Administration of the Academy, Elder Fidelis Otubema Abasi, described this year's inter-house sport competition with the school as exciting and thanked God for honoring them by making the competition a huge success devoid of any accident. He appreciated the chairman on the occasion, Professor Imabong Akpan, and Dean, Faculty of Agriculture, Professor Etimo Konefyon, parents and other invited guests for honoring their invitation for the event.
Very grateful first and foremost to the Almighty God who has made this day to be a very successful one. There's no casualty, no calamity.
The school head, Diplomat Academy, Mrs. Nsison Achibon, while welcoming the participants to the event, noted that the ceremony was one way of giving the pupils opportunity to showcase their sports talent outside the four walls of the classroom.
It is also a medium by which we connect even to the outer world. In other words, sports unites everyone in the world.
Events competed for included 100 meters, 200 meters race, sack race, filling the basket, among others. At the end of the competition, gifts were presented to the winners of the various sport activities, while the winning house carried home the coveted trophy. Some parents and pupils spoke on the benefits of the exercise.
With 262 points, let us celebrate the Jasmine House!
I did 400 meter race. I took both positions.
I won 4x100 meters.
Ufotu Zakan, AKBC News.
The Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress have given a 2-week ultimatum to the government to implement the agreements on palliatives for workers to mitigate the impact of fuel subsidy removal and other policies reached last October. The union said they had mobilized their members for the nationwide protests slated for February 27 and 28. The organized labor lamented that millions of Nigerian workers were facing hunger, erosion of purchasing power, and insecurity due to reforms that drove up inflation. The NLC National President Joe Ajaero said the protest would begin 1 week after the expiration of the 14-day ultimatum it issued to the federal government, which will expire on February 23. Ajaero, who spoke during a briefing with journalists in Abuja, said the decision followed an emergency National Executive Council meeting on the state of the economy and matters related to insecurity in the country. That's our package for tonight. But before we go, we take another look at the top stories. Governor Umoino has described the exit of Senator Itage Karika as a colossal loss to Akwa Ibom community and Nigeria. This was contained in a condolence message delivered at the funeral service of the late Senator Karika, which held at the playground of the Nigerian Navy Military School, Ikontwen, Oroanam local governments. In its bid to reposition primary healthcare services at the grassroots, the Akwa Ibom State Primary Healthcare Development Agency has embarked on a 2-day community engagement and advocacy visit to primary health centers in Ikadekbene and Eket local government areas. The Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress have given a 2-week ultimatum to the government to implement the agreement on palliatives to workers to mitigate the impact of fuel subsidy removal and other policies reached last October. The union said they had mobilized their members for the nationwide protest slated for February 27 and 28. That's the news. Thank you so much for watching, and do have a good night rest. I am Blessing Isamuyo.